Welcome to the definitive countdown of the Chillergeist Horror League's top 10 psychological villains. We're not looking at monsters or slashers, we're ranking the masters of mind games, the architects of madness. We begin our descent into darkness with a creature born from the pages of a children's book. At number 10, the embodiment of a mother's grief and a family's buried trauma, the Babadook.
Subject Babadook's placement at the 10th position is a testament to its highly effective, yet narrowly focused, psychological manifestation abilities. Its primal terror coefficient is statistically high, derived from its universal representation of repressed emotion. However, its threat viability is highly conditional, relying entirely on the host subject's emotional state. The Babadook cannot exist without the presence of overwhelming grief, a limitation that significantly impacts its territorial expansion score. Its indirect causality metric for psychological damage is off the charts, but its direct lethality rating is at a statistically significant 0. While a master of inducing madness, its inability to operate independently of its host's emotional state prevents it from climbing higher on the list. It is a powerful, terrifying force, but one that is ultimately contained by the human condition.
Creeping up the list at number 9, we have an insidious hive mind that believes in family, tradition, and ritualistic sacrifice. The generational nightmare that is the cult of Paimon.
The cult of Paimon secures the 9th position due to its unique generational operational model, granting it a longevity that far surpasses a single subject. Its long-term strategic planning and subtle influence projection scores are statistically superior, as it methodically and patiently orchestrates the collapse of a family unit. However, its transcendental dependence is its primary weakness. The cult is not the villain. It is the servant of a larger, more powerful entity. Their purpose is inhabitation, not independent action, which limits their direct threat quotient. They are a terrifyingly effective recruitment and possession unit, but their lack of autonomy means they cannot rank above those who are their own masters. They are the terrifying architects of a ritual, but they are not the demon that sits at its center.
At number 8, we have a monster without a body, a malevolent presence that bleeds through the walls and seeps into the soul of its victims. The Overlook Hotel's malevolent entity.
Subject Overlook's placement is a direct consequence of its immense and total environmental control. As a sentient location, its dominion rating is a perfect 100%, allowing it to manipulate time, space, and memory. Its psychological deconstruction rate is statistically superior, driving subjects to madness with near-perfect efficiency. It is a terrifying force of nature, a geographically contained threat that can only be escaped by leaving its domain. However, this very limitation prevents it from climbing higher. It is bound to its physical location, unlike the villains who can pursue their subjects anywhere in the world. Its influence is profound and total, but only within its own walls, making it an unstoppable force in a limited arena.
Coming in at number 7, a woman who proves that a kind smile can hide a heart of pure, cold sadism. A master of excruciating pain and unblinking composure, Asami Yamazaki.
Subject Yamazaki earns the 7th spot due to her terrifying combination of psychological and physical precision. Her deceptive persona rating is a perfect 10, allowing her to lure her victims with a disarming innocence before revealing her true, sadistic nature. Her methodical torture score is statistically superior, as she prefers to deconstruct her subjects slowly, both physically and emotionally. Her kill efficiency is high, and her lack of conscience is absolute. She is a fully self-sufficient villain, without any supernatural aid or ritualistic motivation. However, her small-scale operational model and a comparatively low total confirmed kill count, a consequence of her methodical approach, prevent her from ranking higher than those with a greater, more widespread impact.
Cracking the top 6, a modern nightmare made real through technology and unhinged ego. The terrifying specter of unseen violence, Adrian Griffin, the Invisible Man.
Subject Griffin's placement at number 6 is a direct result of his high-tech evolution of psychological horror. His technological superiority and invisible threat scores are unparalleled, allowing him to stalk, gaslight, and manipulate his victims with a chilling anonymity. He is a master of indirect causality, orchestrating events to make his victim appear mentally unstable, a truly insidious form of torture. His psychological deterioration rate is statistically superior, as he doesn't need to physically assault his target to break them down. He is the ultimate modern villain, weaponizing society's lack of faith in the victim. His only weakness is his own ego, which ultimately led to his defeat, preventing him from climbing into the absolute top tier of monsters.
We've reached the halfway point, and at number 5, a man who lives in a world of high fashion, corporate power, and pure, chaotic madness. The stylish sadist himself, Patrick Bateman.
Subject Bateman ranks at number 5 due to his unique status as a psychological metaphor for societal emptiness. His aesthetic terror index is statistically superior, as his acts of violence are often intertwined with an obsessive consumerist routine, making them all the more disturbing. His unreliable narrator rating is a perfect 100%, making the audience a victim of his psychological game as much as his on-screen subjects. However, this ambiguity is also what prevents him from climbing higher. We are never fully certain if his reign of terror is real or a product of his unraveling mind. While his psychological sadism score is one of the highest on the list, his lack of confirmed, tangible kills places him below the absolute physical and psychological monsters who leave no doubt as to their actions.
Just missing the top 3, at number 4, a man whose descent into madness is the stuff of legend. The axe-wielding, hotel-haunted writer, Jack Torrance.
Subject Torrance's high ranking at number 4 is a testament to his physical terror and iconic presence. His transformation from a man to a monster is one of the most chilling in horror history. His behavioral volatility is statistically off the charts, making him an unpredictable and terrifying threat. His axe-based pursuit and verbal threat escalation techniques are highly effective in inducing a state of panic. However, his placement is limited by one crucial factor. His autonomy index is not a perfect 100%. He was a human subject that was heavily influenced, if not outright possessed, by an external force, the entity of the Overlook Hotel. He is a truly terrifying physical monster, but his status as a pawn prevents him from reaching the absolute highest level of villainy, which is reserved for the truly self-sufficient.
The bronze medal winner at number 3, the Grandmaster of the horrific game. The man who believes his victims deserve every ounce of pain they receive. Jigsaw, John Kramer.
Subject Kramer's third-place ranking is a consequence of his unparalleled psychological sadism and his high brand consistency. He is a villain with a philosophical mission, making his actions all the more chilling. His architectural torture and moral conundrum ratings are statistically superior, forcing his victims to make impossible choices. He is a high-volume monster, orchestrating a massive kill count through his elaborate traps. Furthermore, his ability to establish a disciple-based operational model ensures his legacy and terror continue long after his physical demise. His influence projection is one of the highest on this list, making his evil transcend his own lifespan. He is a masterful villain who forces his victims to become complicit in their own demise, a truly unique form of terror.
The runner-up, the silver medal winner at number 2, an unblinking, relentless, and truly human monster. A woman who proves that the most terrifying things are often the most mundane, Annie Wilkes.
Subject Wilkes earns the second-place ranking for her terrifying humanity-based terror. She has no supernatural aid, no high-tech gadgetry, and no philosophical mission. She is a monster born of pure, unhinged obsession and force of will. Her physical lethality is statistically high, and her methodical torture score is a perfect 10. Her ability to operate within a confined space and completely dominate her victim through sheer force of personality is unparalleled. She is the embodiment of our primal fear of being helpless in the face of another's power. She is a fully self-sufficient and independent villain, a true master of psychological horror. Her evil is not a delusion or a byproduct of a place. It is simply who she is.
And now, the moment we've all been dreading. The final countdown is over. The champion, the gold medal winner, the undisputed king of psychological horror. The mastermind, the cannibal, the psychiatrist who changes you from the inside out, Hannibal Lecter.
Subject Lecter's placement at number 1 is statistically undeniable. His intellectual superiority and psychological manipulation scores are both a perfect 10. He is a villain who operates in the highest echelons of society, making his evil all the more insidious. His brand consistency and influence projection are unparalleled, as he has permeated pop culture and maintains a chilling legacy. He is a complete villain, physically capable, intellectually brilliant, and a master of psychological torture. He does not simply kill. He meticulously deconstructs the psyche of his victims and his opponents, making him a truly transcendent form of terror. His ability to turn fear into a game and to thrive in the face of his own incarceration makes him a truly unstoppable force. He is the ultimate human monster, the perfect subject, and the undisputed king of psychological horror.